Hello everyone, I'm Dwight Mitchell of Elite Noire Firearms Training. As most voters know, New Jersey citizens will soon decide who will be the next governor of this state in November. What some of you may or may not know is that New Jersey residents have been fed a false narrative of gun violence and gun control for years. The Second Amendment states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed the right of the people to keep and bear arms in self-defense. Yet New Jersey politicians and their draconian laws have been assaulting our Second Amendment rights forever. Our current Governor Murphy ran part of his last political campaign in 2017 on a false narrative of gun violence and gun control, and he's doing it again in 2021. In fact, the FBI crimes reporting database states there has always been very little gun violence in New Jersey. For example, in 2017, when Murphy won the governor's race, there were 8.8 million residents in the state. Yet the online FBI crimes reporting database states there were only 242 deaths by firearms that year. That's 0.002% of the total population of New Jersey. Well, I don't know about you, but in my book, that's a very, very small percentage considering the state health data states that 624 deaths were by motor vehicles, 1,337 because of the flu, 2,685 from drug overdose, 16,264 from cancer, and 18,840 from heart disease. Yet, there were only 242 that were gun-related. So where's the political outcry for all these other forms of death in the state that are greater than gun violence? Can you say political spin doctor? Now, Murphy wants to spend $10 million on violent intervention programs and another $2 million on gun violence research and regulating school shooting drills on the false narrative that gun crimes have skyrocketed in the past years when they've actually gone down. How does 242 deaths for firearms relate to millions of dollars of taxpayer funding? You tell me. Who's getting paid off for all of this? We're not stupid. We know some big company has to be getting paid off. This excessive spending of taxpayer money can be put to better use, like education, for example, or fixing the horrible roads in this state. It's like driving on the moon. We call it the lunar highway. Governor Murphy has signed many new gun bills into law during his tenure as governor in the last 4 years. You know, New Jersey has the second most restrictive gun laws in the nation. Yet now, during his re-election year, Murphy reverts back to the same gun violence, gun control playbook and proposes 8 new gun laws saying gun violence is skyrocketing, which is not true, when in fact it's actually gone down according to the FBI statistics. If anything, it's nothing more than a mission of the supposed gun control bill on his part have been an absolute failure. This may be because there is no real gun crime issue in New Jersey. And he has no real ideas about how to enhance public safety. So Murphy wants to double down on some of the failed gun laws and that same old rhetoric that he's been spewing for years. In fact, as unbelievable as it may seem, Murphy only recently proposed these 8 sweeping new gun laws and a drastic gun control agenda during his re-election year, when there was no need based on the FBI crime gun statistics. You know, if enacted, these changes will perhaps be the most sweeping gun violence prevention package in the history of our nation. Go figure, it's not even needed. It's all smoke and mirrors to instill fear and alarm when there is none at all. Now, don't get me wrong. While any death is sad, how can 242 firearm deaths out of 8.8 million people be alarming? I say it again. It's a false narrative being portrayed on New Jersey residents by its politicians. Everyone knows that these new unconstitutional laws will be ignored by the criminals and the madmen and affect only law-abiding citizens. All it's doing is turning millions of residents into criminals with the stroke of a pen. It limits our self-defense, and it takes away our property that we lawfully acquired. I want to keep my guns and my magazines. New Jersey's red flag laws, which allows officers to seize guns of residents deemed to be a potential threat, took effect in late 2019. Since then, over 200 orders have been issued to seize guns from people under a red flag law since it went into effect. This law has allowed guns to be easily confiscated based on grounds so flimsy they defy belief. The level of proof is only probable cause, and only one side, the plaintiff, is heard in court. What is that? Heck, any person can apply to have guns taken from another person. Furthermore, these 8 new proposals of Murphy's are more preoccupied with the micromanagement of law-abiding firearm owners who are not the problem than the punishment or deterrence of actual criminals. What's truly sad is that all of these policies are being pushed forward so that politicians and their supporters can feel good about themselves, but are ultimately counterproductive because the laws are targeting law-abiding citizens and not criminals. We all know that criminals don't follow the law. That's why they're criminals. While campaigning this month, Murphy said, "We're going to win this thing, and when we do win it, we're going to go to Gun Safety Package 3.0. We're going to continue to make New Jersey the strongest gun safety state in America." What poppycock. That is such a snow job. Wow. Unbelievable. The last FBI criminal database report said there were only 176 firearm-related deaths in New Jersey for the year. We have some of the toughest gun laws in the country, and we have for decades. Despite these laws and the FBI statistics, there's still this false narrative and fear-mongering that persists in New Jersey that we have some of the most violent cities in the country. It's not true. The truth, the facts and statistics don't support Murphy's false rhetoric. The evidence shows that none of these laws have been successful. New Jersey gun laws are an epic failure in stopping crime, and so is Governor Phil Murphy. It's time to stop disparaging lawful gun owners and start prosecuting illegal gun owners. It's time to start going after real criminals instead of this made-up, imagined gun crime criminal. We are law-abiding citizens, and we will continue to stand up for our Second Amendment rights forever. Well, that's all for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd be interested in hearing what you think. You know, all I can say is all the best and take care. Thank you.